is still the Amazing Tuesday edition right here on Wake Up Nigeria. And now I have a very special guest, which I'll be interviewing right about now. She goes by the name Mrs. Chinwe Bode-Akinwande. And we're literally going to be talking about the CBA Foundation. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining me here today.
For having me.
Okay, so now the CBA Foundation, from what I've read, has literally been doing so much in that space and everything. But then again, most importantly, I'd like to find out, I mean, before the CBA Foundation, who were you and what were you about and what led to it?
Okay, so before the CBA Foundation, I've been me, doing my thing in my little world.
Yeah.
But again, leading to setting up CBA Foundation is me beginning to observe what happens, stories that I hear, things that happen to my friends, you know, family members that their dad is gone, and see what their mom goes through.
Oh, wow.
Then I'm a Christian, I go to church, I see this set of women that after church, you know, they just cluster around windows of people and they keep telling the story of their lives. So I became more curious to say, who are they? For me to realize that they are widows, and with a whole lot of things, the dehumanization, the stigma that these women go through, I just chose that, you know what, I'm going to dive into this, set up a foundation, and let this little light of mine shine.
Wow, and the little light is definitely shining really, really bright. Well done, I would say, because it's not easy to literally take on another person's plight, another person, and literally try to help them. Now, so tell me about the CBA Foundation.
So the CBA Foundation is, CBA here is Chinwe Bode-Akinwande, working to leave a legacy for what, again, I am doing here on earth, is advocating for the plight of the widows. But in this case, we focus more on the privileged widows, because I believe that there are widows that are still privileged, much as they have lost their husband.
Sure.
So the underprivileged, where we say we want to offer them hope in the little things that we're going to be doing for them. We want to drive advocacy. There is a law, which is the Violence Against Persons Prohibition. It came to law in 2015 by Nigeria. But of course, we've realized, myself and the Board of Trustees, that this advocacy is more or less a law that is lying in vacuum. Sure. Nobody is enforcing it. Even the widows don't even know that this law exists. So the foundation is driving, by me being in the studio today, is by way of advocacy to let the world know that there is a law. It has to be enforced. The things that the widows go through is our desire in CBA Foundation to know that widows should be able to wake up and have hope for the next day. Sure. Life has happened, but you have to pick your pieces together and just get up and go.
Wow. Now, I know something for sure. Having a foundation is no child's play. Now, when we talk about funding, how is this done?
So what we essentially do is we draw up our proposals. We've done our need analysis to say, we look at intervention from health perspective, women empowerment, their counseling, back to school to children, at least to the level of primary education is what we drive as well. And the social enterprise initiative, where we're looking at a value chain to say, if you start something, have it to be something that is sustainable. You then begin to set your business and make your money. So having put this focus, you know, in perspective, we reach out to corporate organizations to say, this is who we are, this is what we do. And definitely we give account of our stewardship, because one thing for us is our books are audited. We scrutinize ourselves under the governance to make sure that there is transparency in what we do. So by the time we do that, organizations say, okay, I'm interested in what we do. This is how we can help. And also individuals. Some of them just go to the website, click on the donate button.
Oh, wow.
Stay anonymous. But what we do is we always tell them this is how your money is spent. So literally that is how we've...
Transparency.
Exactly. This is how we've been driving the funding for now.
All
hoping
right.
that more will come from international
definitely,
organizations.
yes, definitely. Yes. So now I know that, I mean, it's one thing to set up a foundation, to do all you do and all of that. Then again, you mentioned the plight of the underprivileged widows. What would you say is the biggest problem in that space? And then the other ones that you say, okay, fine, this also happens. But like, what is that thing that is at the top of the problem chain?
So what is that thing? For me, what has become very prevalent, what has become very common of late is a situation where a woman has just lost the husband. And the next thing you see is family of the man, you know, come knocking on the door to say, here, we are here for a family meeting. And the family meeting happens to be subjecting the woman to say, it's time to take inventory of what the man has, the land, the cars, bring the ATM card. As a matter of fact, some of them demand for the international passport of the woman and the kids, for those that are again privileged. The unprivileged ones, the family members have moved in to secure the land where the man has and say, you can't farm anymore. We have stories where the widow gave birth to just girls. One of her daughters is in the university, but she's been deprived from farming on the land because she has a girl. You know, so confiscating their properties and letting the grief just eat them up is what is getting so bad and very prevalent in the society. And we're saying, no, this should stop. This is injustice. This is wickedness. This is greed. Because we've seen that the people that do this, is days are gone where they all come from the village. People are in their SUVs. They are doing very well. And they still come to take from the woman, which is unfair. Who does that? So that is what we are seeing. That is what we are experiencing. And by the time we run our health intervention, our outreach, for me to be very conservative, if you gather 200 widows here, 90 to 95% of them are hypertensive. The data is there. The records are there. We've had a case where at Iberiko, the community where we had the outreach, 12 of them, as a matter of fact, came with the tricycle, what they call the keke. And they've been rubbing balm on their side, feeling, oh, they have this pain. Only for the doctors to check, and their BP is about 296 over something. So their health issues is deteriorating by the reason of what they go through. And family members, husband's family, and when we say husband's family, is the male and both the sister-in-laws coming into their space, invading and taking over.
Wow. So now it's not even just a fight for property alone. It's a fight for their lives.
That's right.
Now, that is definitely mind-blowing. So now, in your experience so far, what would you say, what measures have you put in place, or does the foundation put in place to curb these particular issues?
So what we do is, we are not the law enforcers. So our own role is to advocate, to call it out, raise the carpet, to say, no, we are bringing out all these things that is going on.
And when you call it out, do you have people respond? And
yes, so when we call out, most of the things that we've realized are lawyers call us to say, hey, I am very passionate to hear about this, and I'm ready to help, to support any widow going through any of this injustice pro bono. So what we do is we get their details, we reach out to them once peculiar cases come like this, and we just do the handshake for the lawyer to help them.
Amazing. Right. I think that's done, because I was actually going to ask, so how do you, will I use the word recruit widows? Do they actually come to you, or do you reach out, or you hear of issues like that? How do you do that?
So what we do is we place a call on our different handles, but beyond that, just to be sure that we are reaching out to the core target audience, in this case, the widows. We walk through churches. We walk through mosques. We go to the townships. In the case of the West, they call them the ballets. So when we go to the townships, they know them. In churches, they have their different groups and organizations where they meet. So when we do that, we're able to get the numbers. They send us the list, and we then reach out to them to give our outreach.
Nice. I think it's amazing. I think what you're doing is brilliant. And I mean, it takes someone with a large heart to literally put herself aside and then do this for other people. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and shedding more light on this. I wish you all the grace and strength for this journey.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, and that's it right now. But still so much to come. We still have our chefs in the kitchen, so do not touch that dial. We'll go on a quick break, but we'll be right back.